Lana Del Rey is one of the most influential and controversial figures in modern pop music. With her melancholic lyrics, cinematic soundscapes, and vintage Americana aesthetic, she didn't just break into the music industry, she rewrote the rules. In this video, we'll explore how Lana Del Rey carved out a new lane in pop music, challenged the industry's conventions, weathered public scrutiny, and left an undeniable mark on a generation of artists and fans. This is the story of how Lana Del Rey rewrote the rules of pop. Before she became Lana Del Rey, she was Elizabeth Woolridge Grant. Born in New York City and raised in Lake Placid, she had a deep love for poetry, philosophy, and Americana culture. Her early music career was anything but glamorous. She recorded under various names, including Mae Jayler and Lizzie Grant, often performing in bars and clubs in New York City. She studied metaphysics and philosophy, interests that would heavily influence her later lyrical themes. Her struggles with alcoholism in her teenage years led her to rehab, which she has openly referenced in her music and interviews. These early experiences shaped her complex views on fame, love, death, and identity. In 2010, she released her first studio album, Lana Del Rey aka Lizzie Grant. It featured the melancholic tones and lush production that would later become her trademarks, but it was largely ignored. She briefly disappeared from the public eye. Then in 2011, a grainy self-edited video for the song Video Games appeared online. The internet took notice. The song's hypnotic quality and retro imagery stood in stark contrast to the mainstream pop of the time, which was dominated by high-energy EDM and slick dance tracks. With this one song, Lana sparked intrigue, debate, and a new musical era.
Go play a video game.
Video Games was polarizing. Some hailed it as genius. Others dismissed it as affected and boring. The orchestral arrangement and slow tempo broke all the rules of what a hit single was supposed to sound like. The lyrics were unapologetically romantic and melancholic. It wasn't catchy, it wasn't radio-friendly, but it felt real. This authenticity, or perceived lack thereof, sparked intense discussion. People questioned whether Lana was a real artist or a label creation. Critics dissected her transformation from Lizzie Grant to Lana Del Rey, seeing it as evidence of manufactured artistry. Yet fans embraced the mystery. Her 2012 performance on Saturday Night Live further fueled the controversy. The performance was shaky, tentative, and deeply criticized. Many used it as evidence that she was an industry plant. But what those critics failed to see was that Lana wasn't trying to be perfect. She was expressing vulnerability. Despite the backlash, her fan base grew. For many, she embodied something that had been missing from mainstream music: a sense of tragedy, longing, and poetic sorrow. She wasn't just creating songs. She was creating an atmosphere, a mythology. In 2012, Lana released Born to Die, her major label debut. The album was a commercial success, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and selling over 7 million copies worldwide. It was also a stylistic statement. Lush orchestral backdrops, hip-hop beats, trap drums, and cinematic production. Songs like Born to Die, Blue Jeans, and Summertime Sadness painted a picture of doomed love, fatalistic glamour, and feminine mystique. Her lyrics were confessional, cryptic, and emotionally raw. She referenced Nabokov, Elvis, and the American dream. Born to Die didn't conform to the cheerful, empowering anthems dominating pop. Instead, it embraced vulnerability and melancholy. Her persona was unapologetically feminine, yet layered with darkness and contradiction. She revived the archetype of the tragic heroine in pop culture, a figure more commonly seen in literature or film. Critics were divided. Some called her shallow or overly theatrical. Others saw brilliance in her ability to fuse classic Americana with modern sensibilities. But fans didn't care about the debate. Lana was offering something that felt honest, raw, and deeply personal. The success of Born to Die proved that there was an appetite for emotional depth and aesthetic complexity in pop music. Lana had broken through the industry's sheen and tapped into something timeless. As Lana's fame grew, so did the scrutiny. Journalists questioned her credibility. think pieces debated her feminism. Her lyrics about submission and power imbalance in relationships drew ire from some feminist circles. Yet this controversy only added to her mystique. She rarely gave interviews, and when she did, her responses were elusive. She wasn't trying to explain herself. She let the art speak for itself. Meanwhile, she was becoming a cult icon. On Tumblr and Instagram, a new aesthetic was emerging. Filtered images of roses, retro cars, sad poetry, Catholic iconography, and moody sunsets. Lana was its queen. She inspired a generation of artists from Billie Eilish to Lorde, who embraced vulnerability, cinematic storytelling, and sonic experimentation. Fans related to her expressions of sadness, longing, and alienation. In her world, heartbreak was sacred, and sadness was beautiful. She created a safe space for feeling deeply in an era obsessed with surface-level positivity. Rather than pivot to mainstream tastes, Lana kept building her own universe. She didn't adapt to pop. Pop started adapting to her. In 2014, Lana released Ultraviolence, a dark, sprawling album that leaned into psychedelic rock and blues. Produced by Dan Auerbach, it stripped away the orchestral polish of Born to Die, in favor of gritty guitars and slow-burning angst. Tracks like West Coast, Shades of Cool, and Brooklyn Baby pushed boundaries. Her lyrics were more defiant, more jaded. She wasn't afraid to provoke or unsettle. This wasn't a cry for mainstream approval. It was a declaration of artistic autonomy. Lana explored themes of violence, dependency, and nihilism, but always with a sense of introspection. She wasn't promoting self-destruction. She was exploring its emotional terrain. Critically, the album was received more warmly than her debut. Reviewers began to see her not as a product, but as an auteur. Ultraviolence proved she had staying power, not just in sound but in substance. She wasn't chasing pop hits. She was building a body of work. It was a turning point. Lana had survived the initial backlash and emerged more confident, more complex, and more influential than ever. 2015's Honeymoon was Lana's most ethereal and introspective album yet. Jazz undertones, lush strings, and whispered vocals carried tracks like Terrence Loves You and Salvatore. It wasn't trying to impress the radio. It was trying to lull you into another dimension. It felt like a dreamscape of broken hearts and foggy mornings. Critics gave it mixed reviews, but Lana never seemed to chase critical or commercial approval. She was following her own muse, doubling down on mood, texture, and emotion. If Ultraviolence was rebellion, Honeymoon was retreat into her own inner world. Then in 2017, Lust for Life marked a shift. For the first time, there was a glimmer of hope in her music. Collaborations with The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky, and Stevie Nicks suggested Lana was opening her door to the wider world. The title track, as well as songs like Love and Coachella, Woodstock in My Mind, nodded toward unity, nostalgia, and self-awareness. But even then, she maintained her singular aesthetic. Her lyrics remained reflective, her melodies slow and deliberate. Even while smiling more on album covers and singing about light, she never lost her sense of longing. Lust for Life was not a reinvention but an expansion. Lana proved she could evolve without erasing her past. She was an artist in conversation with her own mythology. By 2019, critics had finally caught up to what fans had long known. Lana Del Rey was a generational talent. Norman fucking Rockwell, produced by Jack Antonoff, was her magnum opus. Stripped of grand production and bombast, the album leaned into piano ballads and poetic lyricism. Tracks like Venice Bitch, The Greatest, and Mariner's Apartment Complex were thoughtful, ironic, and heartbreakingly sincere. It was an album about disillusionment in America, failed love, artistic purpose, and emotional survival. Critics unanimously praised it, calling it one of the best albums of the decade. For the first time, the narrative shifted. Lana wasn't just a cult icon or a controversial figure. She was one of the most important voices in modern music. She was no longer reacting to fame or criticism. She was reflecting on her place in the culture, shaping its trajectory from within. Lana Del Rey didn't just rewrite the rules of pop music, she built an entirely new lexicon: emotional honesty, dreamlike aesthetics, long meandering song structures, unapologetic femininity, melancholy as power. Her influence is everywhere, from Billie Eilish to Halsey to Olivia Rodrigo. But Lana never seems in competition with them. She has continued releasing albums on her own terms, including Chemtrails Over the Country Club and Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard. Each project is an artifact of her evolving worldview. She challenged the notion that pop had to be immediate, upbeat, or universally palatable. She made room for slow, sad, strange beauty. And in doing so, she gave countless listeners and artists permission to feel deeply, to take risks, to not conform. Lana Del Rey isn't just a pop star. She's a storyteller, a provocateur, a mood, a movement. And she's here to stay. In a pop landscape driven by perfection, clarity, and speed, Lana Del Rey chose something radically different: mystery, emotion, and stillness. She made space for slowness, for sadness, for softness, and she made it beautiful. She didn't chase the mainstream. She changed it. What began as a whisper became a movement. What was once dismissed is now emulated. Lana Del Rey rewrote the rules by being unapologetically herself, and in doing so, she opened the door for others to do the same. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. It helps us keep making videos like this. Thanks for watching.